This episode is sponsored by Moonlight Liquor, located 265 North Moonlight Road, Gardner, Kansas. Open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Moonlight Liquor is the biggest around with a square footage of 10,000 feet. They carry 48 cooler doors full of domestic and imported beer, a huge craft selection, including local breweries, also accessible through the walk-in cooler. They carry a wide selection of domestic and imported wines, including local wineries and an organic and sustainable wine selection. And of course, a massive selection of spirits in the course.
And for you cigar fans, like myself, Moonlight Liquor has a walk-in humidor that carries a nice variety of over 30 cigar brands. With that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Big Modcast. Beat me to it, son. I didn't have my setup. Oh, well. Anyway, how was your Christmas, Chris?
It was fine.
You get everything you wanted?
I got clothes.
Which is good, right?
Yeah.
All right. Mark, you good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Wait, are you asking if I'm good? Or
No,
if my
well, how was your
Christmas? My Christmas was good, family all together. Although this year I did a little something different. I told my family essentially, don't give me any gifts because I don't have money to get them gifts. So I couldn't get myself gifts because I'm moving out. Gifts. You want a gift? I can't get you a gift. I'll get you a gift.
But not a gift.
A gift? What's a gift?
You don't want to say gift.
I meant gift, which I meant to say as gift. So I'm saying a bunch of things wrong right now.
I know.
Either way, I'm moving.
Are you nervous? Are you nervous because of our guest?
Why would I be nervous?
I don't know. I just thought I'd ask.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I know. I just thought I'd ask. But yeah, I thought Christmas was good. Did you like your Bomb Pop t-shirt?
That was funny. Yeah, I got a Bomb Pop t-shirt, like the red, white, and blue ones you get from like ice cream vendors. Yeah. Well, the reason he got me that is because at least every 2 or 3 months, I'll go to the store and grab like a 24 pack of Bomb Pops and eat the whole thing in like 1 or 2 days. Just because it's my favorite Bomb Pop and it's really addictive for me to get them. So I have to like spread it out over a couple months. And then I straight literally 24 Bomb Pops in like 2 days. It's really bad, but it's so good.
Yeah, it's all that damn sugar.
I don't know. It's the best kind of
I know. And then that one day I grabbed one and you got mad at me.
I did because those are mine. You're not supposed to touch them.
Well, I mean, okay.
Those are mine.
Well, yeah, you're right. But then what did you get for Christmas?
A box of Bomb Pops.
Okay.
Yeah, from you with the t-shirt.
All right.
So don't touch them. They're mine.
I already had one.
I had one. I didn't know that. Well, I'm going to start counting them.
And did you know that day I bought them? I walked in the house and your mom likes the strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, those
eclairs.
They're not good. Yeah.
Those are good. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those eclairs. She loves those. So I brought those in. I walked downstairs. I threw yours in the freezer. I threw mom's in the freezer. Eventually, I was going to wrap them up.
She found them, didn't she?
Yes.
And she just started eating them.
Yes, I went downstairs to make sure they were still there. Ileana was sitting there opening the box. I'm like, what are you doing? She said, oh, Mom wanted an ice cream. I said, those are for Christmas. I said, oh, well, shit. Go ahead, give your mom one.
Early Christmas.
I didn't get to wrap them up. And then I don't know how she spotted them in the bags. I had like 8 bags I walked in with, and somehow she saw those ice creams.
She just knew. It's a feeling.
I guess.
Just sensed them.
Yeah. Anyway, I believe that winter is over.
No, I think we're just getting a little past right now. Actually, we haven't addressed yet.
What's up?
It's 2023.
I guess you're right.
So this is one of those episodes where we're recording a weekend prior. So right now it is 2023. This is a message from the past, if anything. Yeah. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. It's so how was your New Year?
I don't know yet. That's the question. I hope it's a good one.
It doesn't even make sense now. But I know, every time we do this, I get all thrown off.
Right?
Like,
so
what are we supposed to talk about?
Right. So I guess for everybody watching the Big Modcast, I hope you had an amazing New Year and welcome to 2023.
Yes. I just had to throw that on. Yeah.
What a better way to start off.
Who was that?
I didn't. Did you touch it?
I didn't touch anything.
That was weird. Stop touching.
I didn't touch anything.
Well, okay. Anyways, what a better year to start off 2023.
I know, right?
With the special guest right here.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and
Yes,
him?
introduce our guest. Let's everyone please welcome Mr. Jim Ricker. Coach, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me. This is gonna be a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I know I asked you if you'd come on to the show. Do you remember that day?
Yeah,
Where were we?
I think we're up at school, aren't we?
Yeah, we were actually at the football game. I think it was
That's right.
I think it was the home opener, right?
It was
Olathe
South. It was the 100th.
I remember it smelled good right there at the entrance because they were grilling.
Homecoming.
I think it was homecoming.
Yeah, and then homecoming was early this year.
Yeah,
I think.
too early.
Yeah, it was like
You think it was too early?
it was like the second game of the season, so it was still like September. It wasn't even August yet. I mean, I'm sorry.
It was either the second or third game of the season because I think they were on the
second
road.
game, 'cause
It was still early
It
September.
started off 2-0. So
Yeah,
they won the week before,
And then that one.
And then they won.
at the South that night. So yeah,
That's right, yeah.
that was a big game.
That was. I remember.
Yeah, that
I
was
stopped going to them, and then they stopped doing good. Maybe I should have kept going.
So now we know who to blame.
Right there, you go. I apologized.
And my cousin Rico, that's where his kids will be going. Well, actually, little Rico's, that's where he goes to school.
That's what he had told me. Right, Olathe South.
Yeah,
which
Olathe South.
is the newest. No,
No.
Olathe West is the newest. Yeah, that's right. The Owls.
That's correct.
How dumb is that? I don't like that they're all
They're all-
birds.
No, you know what?
They're all birds. I don't know if you knew that.
All birds where?
All the
the
schools are
except
birds.
except for North.
No, Olathe
No, they're the
schools.
Eagles.
Oh, the Olathe.
Yeah, all the
The
Olathe
Olathe
schools.
All the
birds.
Olathe schools are
Yeah.
birds. Is there a reason for that? Do you know?
They got lazy.
With what? With just
Well, the mascots, yeah, because they don't want any more controversies. Because the 4 major schools or 5 major schools, I guess you could have people which started into their own little trouble here and there.
I guess. I don't know. That's interesting. I didn't realize they were all birds.
Yeah, look at it.
My old high school is a bird.
Yeah, it was, but I mean,
J.C. Harmon.
Oh, there
The
we go.
Hawks.
the Hawks.
There we go.
I think we're the only birds. Yeah, there were no Eagles or
I don't even know what technically counts your
Cardinals.
conference.
I don't either.
Yeah.
6A?
No, I mean like in your district, like it was just you and Wyandotte. That's all I know.
Oh, that in Schlegel.
Schlegel.
Yeah, we'll
I
talk
don't
about
know
that later. Anyway, Coach, how are you been, man?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you're here. Did you have a good Christmas?
Wonderful Christmas. Had everybody back home. So anytime I get all the girls underneath the same roof, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So you had to out of state
well,
or
I've got
in?
Anna's at K-State and Molly's
Okay.
at UCM,
Okay.
Nice.
and then the 2 at Mill Valley. So
Okay. So you still have 2 at home and 2. Nice. One day you're going to be
empty nester here in about
Nester,
3.5 years. Don't
Yeah,
tell my wife.
Canada.
She starts to cry right away. I start to plan out
she's probably
trips.
watching right now, crying right after you just said
I
that.
plan out trips and she starts to cry. So
That's funny. Everybody have a good Christmas.
yeah, everybody. Well, as long as they were all healthy and nobody was sick,
Right.
then we had a great Christmas. But
Yeah.
they got spoiled as normal.
Yeah.
So Anna just turned 21 on the 21st of December.
Yes.
And so
Oh, her golden birthday.
her golden birthday. And she
Nice.
got to spend it in New York City.
Oh, geez.
So Deb took her to New York City, my wife, and they hung out in New York City for a week.
Nice. Yeah, I thought I saw pictures. She had her first drink there. Did she have a margarita?
Her first legal one, yeah.
Yeah, her first legal drink. Yeah.
May not have been her first one, but it was her first legal one. There you go.
I mean, she's a junior in college, so
Yeah. That's awesome though. We went to New York. I don't know if you've seen pictures from when we went.
no. When'd you guys go?
We went back in June. Sometime in June, I believe, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember that far back.
Yeah. It was cool.
I'll have to
mean,
go back. I'll have to go back to see when we did that.
Yeah, it was June. Sometime in June. Cool for the most part. I'm not a fan.
It's
Not a
really
fan.
well. Anna thought, I think I could live there, and she got there in 12 hours. Within 12 hours, she's like, "I'm ready to go home."
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm not a city person like that.
No, I need space.
Right?
I went there one time back in '06, and after 3 days, I was like, "Oh, everybody's on me. Just get off of me. I can't wait to get out of here.
Oh, man.
Send me home."
I know, and it's still like that. So Sandy and I went many years ago. I went for a business trip, and it was cold, end of February, early March. It was cold. It actually, well, I'll get to that. So that I remember it was cold, but it was still busy.
Oh yeah,
I mean, just it's one of those cities that never sleep.
that's
So we spent. There was one night we went down to what's busy
Times Square.
Times Square, and it was like 2-3 in the morning.
Oh yeah,
We were just out there walking around, and it looked like it was 8-9 o'clock at night. I mean, it was just crowded still, And it was snowing, which was pretty cool.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it
That'd be
snowed on us
beautiful.
that night. And what's cool about it in the city is it snows, but it doesn't stick to the streets or where people
There's
are
too much
walking.
traffic, too much heat. going
Yeah,
on.
there's so
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, there's so much going on. But I mean, you can see it piling up on the trash and
Yeah, but
you know,
not
and
on
on
the ground.
parked cars. But yeah, so we thought that was pretty cool.
That'd be awesome,
Yeah, but all the trash that was there, all the big trash bags, that those were getting.
especially in the middle of the morning.
I know. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was a fun time. So yeah, then we went down there, and I thought, yeah, it was it was hot. Yeah, it was hot, right?
It was kind of average.
Yeah, yeah. The nights were cool, but the days were hot, which is weird.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Anyway, so Coach, how long would you say we've known each other? How far back can we go?
Oh my gosh. Let's see here. Let's see. How old were the girls?
So, I'm going
Because
to
the girls
guess
were playing against each other. So I'm going to go 2010, 2011.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, right in there. And so
Ileana we had just started, she had just started playing soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember this, and what's pretty wild is Spinello, he remembered exactly when he saw us. And I remember in that episode, you said you saw it, he had said to you, hey, we need her on our team.
he did.
You know?
He
You
did
remember that?
completely. Oh, no.
Yeah.
So we were talking about how to make this into a little bit more competitive of a rec team.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, we need to get her. And then we were out playing against Julia Kocher.
Okay.
And he goes, and we need to get her.
You guys are scouting.
Yeah.
so
we
so
started
Joe was out there recruiting. And,
Yeah, so we started putting together this little team, and before you know it, everybody's like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea."
Yeah.
so we put them together. So,
Yeah, and they were a really good team.
oh yeah,
Yeah, they were solid.
I remember the girls were out in one game, and Kate was doing a move around some girl, and then she was in the middle of doing a move. She passed the ball, she either beat somebody and goes to goal, and the coach goes, "Well, that's really not kind of fair, is it? I mean, she's doing a move, and now she does a move around this girl, and I can't teach these moves to anybody." I'm like, "Sorry."
That's funny.
I didn't even teach you. They knew it already.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They were so athletic.
So at the same time, you're teaching two different Garcias, pretty much. You're coaching
Yeah,
the
well,
youngest
that's-
sister and then the oldest
So
brother.
yeah, so it was right around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and to be
11.
honest with you, so being at East at the time, right, and not have come to North yet, it was Mario that said, "Hey, our soccer coach on the girls program is not. We don't have one." And he was the one that actually approached me, and I'm like, so then I called up George Salas over at Shamish North, the athletic director, said, "You guys don't have a coach yet?" I'm like, "No, this is December.
Oh, so like less
Yeah,
than a
like
couple
season's
months.
going to
Yeah.
start the end of February."
Yeah.
And I go, he goes, "You want it?" And I go, "Sure, why not? I'm not doing anything." So he's like,
I'm not doing anything.
He
I
goes,
can come over and coach.
"Really?" He's like, "Sure." So I go take that over. Of course, Mods goes, "Hey, can I be the manager?" So I'm like, "Sure." So I get to know, he brings out 4 or 5 of the boys. I get to know the boys. And then summer hits. And we're sitting there, and I get a phone call. And we're like 2 weeks into summer. And they're like, "Hey, our boys soccer coach had resigned today. And we happen to have a teaching position open as well." And I'm like, "Okay." And like, "Do you want to come you want to come coach and teach the boys?" I said, "Coach for sure. Teaching." Well, I hadn't got to say goodbye to anybody over at East. I didn't know what the protocol was. I said, this is a family decision. Can I call my wife? So at first they didn't think I was going to go.
Oh yeah.
And I called my wife, and she and my best friend, David, who lives out in California, they're like, "What would make you want to, why do you want to do this?" I said, "Do you think you can make a difference?" I said, "Yeah, I really do." And my buddy David goes, "Do you think you can make a difference from Shamish and East at Shamish and North? Or do you need to be at North?" I said, "I think I need to be at North." So I called back up to George South, said, "Okay, I'm coming." So went over to East, and this is how crazy fast the district worked. I went over to East and spoke to the principal at East, said, "Hey, I think I'm going to go North." He goes, "Kramer already called me. We've already got the wheels moving. I think it's a great move for you." And I'm like, "Okay." So I go home to check my email real quickly before I go over to North, and my email's already changed.
No way, that quick.
Yeah. I was like, "You didn't let me even say bye to anybody."
You said, I didn't get to put my 2 weeks in.
No,
You
nothing
start
there.
Monday. Stay
Yeah.
there.
So that was it. And so, yeah, but your son and your brother had probably about 55, 60% of the reason why I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do this." Because I was wanting to coach him. I was like, "Yeah, that'll be great." Didn't know any of the other boys that showed up, and he just opened up the arms and said, "All right, this is our coach. Let's go do what he wants to do."
Nice.
And it was
That's
great.
crazy.
It was
I don't know.
fantastic.
I didn't realize that. I thought a lot of it had to do with since it, being your alma mater as well.
I'm sure a little bit.
So if
that,
anybody doesn't know, Coach Ricker here at also was a graduate of Shawnee Mission North
That is correct.
back in 1970.
And did you pass my class? No.
I did. I don't remember that being
Go
on the
back and
test.
check that.
When did I graduate?
87.
1987.
Yeah, this is my 30th year teaching.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of crazy.
Man.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Do you hate it yet?
Yet?
No, actually, here's something that's really kind of funny is that this is my last year teaching.
That's all right.
And so in May, when the kids graduate, I get to graduate. And
Yeah.
don't ask me what I'm doing next. I have no idea yet. So I've got to figure that out.
Okay.
But I just want to get stretched a different way. But I absolutely love it. I do love to teach. I do love the kids. There's nothing about it. But I just want to try something different.
Sure.
Maybe you can start a podcast.
There we go.
Yeah, bring in some old buddies, talk some good memories, talk about coaching. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah.
And encroach on what you're doing, Dad?
On what?
You mean-
Encroach on your format, your
Oh, yeah,
platform?
sure. Why not?
It'd just be from a complete soccer side.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, then you change gears here at the end with the coaching style because you went over to the boys' golf.
Yeah.
Now, there's a real passion right there.
Yeah, that's equal. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to go out there. I think it's just because I can actually compete in that. If I got on the field with the high school boys, they just run me in circles now. I'd be like, all right, too old.
Yeah. So, let me take this opportunity right now to thank you for coaching my kids and, in the classroom as well.
They're a lot of fun to teach and work with. And
yeah. Did you have that guy, Chris?
no, he avoided me like as much as possible. Isn't that true, Chris?
He's not answering, Chris. He's sinking
He's
down.
sinking down. He's like, but I would every time I had a chance to go in and disrupt his classroom, I would.
Is that true, Chris?
Yes.
He'd come in and say, Garcia, that was one of the best classes. That was such a great class. I told Ileana, before Rickert leaves, you got to get into his class if you can.
Yeah, she was trying to get in for second semester.
She didn't get it. Oh, man, that sucks, though. I don't know if she did it.
I have no idea.
No, you won't know. Yeah. But no, that was such a great class because it was sociology. And at the time, I remember just man, I really don't feel like we're doing a lot, but we're learning a lot for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty much discussion based. So.
It is entirely you just had story after story, and I never got bored. I can tell you that. There's some great stories out there, seriously. Yeah. My favorite is the Paul Rudd story.
Oh, yeah, he's a good guy.
What's that about?
We did student council camp together back in Emporia State, back in high school. It's one of the things that's a guy but you don't really, I've never say, oh yeah, I know him, because I know him only from a brief moment in time. Right. And that's how we just kind of, you have to do all these skits and stuff when you're down there for leadership camp.
Okay.
And we had to do one together, and it was,
oh, really?
Yeah. But then to watch him take off, it was just
it's just so cool. Cause how would you know that? There's no way looking back on people I don't know if you will or not, but some people I bet Paul Rudd, you knew that guy could be something.
He could walk into the room. There's kids from every high school in the state of Kansas are in this, from every class, right? 6A down to 2A. I mean, every school had somebody there, and he could walk into that place and have the whole place laughing in a heartbeat.
Really?
I'm like, how does he do that? I mean, his character and his charisma was just so strong. I was like, that guy is pretty awesome. But he was the nicest guy at the same time. Wasn't like he was even trying to make a show.
Yeah, it was just his personality. He just had this aura about him that just made you kind of gravitate. And man, what a funny guy.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't hear, we did say Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
For many people who may not know,
This guy right here. Paul Rudd.
For many people who may not know, Paul Rudd is one of the many surprising actors that have come out of the Shawnee Mission District. Paul Rudd, for example, came out of Shawnee Mission West, including Jason Sudeikis, as well as Rob Riggle from Shawnee Mission South. Everybody says Dr. Phil North, but I don't really know if he counts that himself.
He doesn't even like our school.
He doesn't, exactly. I think that's what he says.
I think that's just
bullied.
a rumor.
I don't know.
Never met him, don't know the whole story. So.
Right? Yeah. No, but that's part of my plan. I plan to be.
My publicist is working on trying to get him in here as well. So.
That is my ultimate goal, to be in movies, because I'm already starting my acting career myself. So if I can get that out there and be just another Shawnee Mission alum that makes it like that, that's the main goal. I want to be part of that club.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Because I was just really amazed when you told me, man, he knew Paul Rudd.
Briefly.
He played any sports?
Briefly.
Did he play any sports, do you know?
I want to say, but I don't don't hold me to this, but I want to say for a while he was a yell leader as well.
Really?
Oh my god.
Yeah, because as you laugh about it, I was one.
Oh, were you? So during the football season, because you did soccer in the.
No, I actually did during the basketball season my junior year.
Oh, okay.
Some of the boys had gotten dismissed, would be the best way to put it. And
How do you get dismissed from being a cheer or a yell leader? I mean, their grades, or let's say
there could be other things that take place.
wow.
They
seemed a little too happy. They smelled funny, but they seemed a little too happy.
Well, that could have been something of that nature. They're all my buddies, so I'm careful what I say. And so anyway, we were there, and I made the mistake of running across, because back when we were in high school, there would be like the cheerleaders would go to the opposite side and do a welcome cheer to the home team's crowd.
Sure.
Right. And vice versa. And it was a snowy night at South. It was a girls' game, but we always traveled really well. The fans did. So we're there, and there was one cheerleader, and she went over to go do her cheer. And I'm like, I'm going to go help her out. I know the cheer. And so the next day I get called into the principal's office, and like,
hey, you want to be a yell leader?
It wasn't, hey, do you want to be like yell leader? It's, hey, you're going to be a yell leader. And the old athletic director, Harlan Hesbeck, then if he said jump, you didn't ask how high, you just jumped and kept jumping until he liked it. And you're like, okay. So I ended up being a yell leader for the winter.
Nice. Cool. Is that part of your natural athleticism probably?
Well, except for my partner, the very first game was against Shimishin East, and I had her in a high chair, and I dropped her on her back. So I would not say it was part of my natural athleticism.
Oh, man, I'd feel so terrible.
Oh, I did. I was like, I got nervous.
Hold on. So that move is called the high chair?
Yeah.
When you put her up on.
Yeah, when she's sitting in your hand, you just go straight up.
Yeah.
Right?
So
it's called a high chair.
And you had to lock it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you
and
had
I
to
got
lock
up here,
position,
and all of a sudden she just went backwards. And she knew it was coming. And I'm like, oh.
That's when you should have fell back too, so both of you can land at the same time.
I was so.
Was she upset?
No, she's like
part of the game.
It's part of the game. I was like, okay, thanks.
You know, I'm surprised. I think more people should actually go out to be yell leaders, because you can get some big scholarships for college by being a yell leader, surprisingly.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that's funny you said it, because I tried three of the boys that were on with me, who were like dieharders.
Really? They went on to go cheer somewhere?
At KU.
At KU?
At
wow.
KU. Yeah, they're at KU. So, yeah, and they had all kinds of recognition. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, everyone kind of looks down on like, oh, you're just a male cheerleader. You can get your college paid for it.
And you can't do the stunting in high school in Kansas that you used to be able to do.
What do you mean? You can't do flips?
You can't throw the girls as high as you want to. We used to have a couple of the guys that could really just toss
launch them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then we'd catch, and how big we get the pyramid, and we get the pyramid that would turn, right? Because we'd all be up on each other's shoulders. So you'd be over 3 people high. Huh. It's just a 1-person height.
I did not realize there was regulations to it.
Well, enough people have fallen. Enough people have dropping their partner.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense. Enough mistakes, and then you're bound to like have some correction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did they ever think of just adding pads?
They do at competitions.
Around them, on the floor.
Yeah, but I mean, you're at a basketball game and it's hardwood floor. There's no time to roll out a mat and then quickly roll it back up before the next quarter starts. Think about it, Chris.
Maybe they should have started adding other people to it, and then when they see a cheerleader getting ready to fall, they just hit the floor, and so they can land on top of it.
That's worse. That's 2 people getting hurt.
But I mean, you got to sacrifice to make sure the girls don't get hurt.
You can catch them. You don't have to lay out and just take it.
At least makes the guys look better.
Yeah, I know, right?
Self-sacrifice.
Dress up as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So
there you go.
Yeah, be the air mattress for them. Exactly.
Or the mascot. The mascot could have been walking around and making sure if anybody's fall, the mascot can straight fall.
Our mascot at the time was an Indian. He's just a person in a headdress. What is that?
Oh yeah,
that's not protection. That's feathers.
No,
I guess
trust
that's
me,
right.
because my senior year, that's what I did.
You're also a mascot?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mascots stink. Did I ever tell you that?
Oh my God.
They do. I mean,
My dad was also a mascot.
I was a mascot at Harmon, and the bird suit just stunk. See, so you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, and you're putting on 30 years of sweat. Everybody else is sweating.
Yeah, so I think there's a rule on there. I think the tag says do not wash.
Yeah.
Because I don't think those things are supposed to be washed. So like I said, Casey Wolf and Slugger, they both stink.
Yeah.
And then I said it in another episode, back Worlds of Fun. Do you remember Worlds of Fun when they had the mascots?
Yeah. All the different, like,
You remember those?
Yeah.
They stunk. Dude.
Oh,
They were just sticky.
There's a funny clip I have to show you, but like I put a soundtrack to it because they were like scary looking.
They were scary looking. It was a panda, a raccoon.
Oh, that's right.
You remember a raccoon, and the other one was like a gorilla. And I'm sure there was other ones, but those three were like the main ones that stuck out.
Yeah. You think you want to run to them as a kid, and
I know,
closer,
right?
you're trying to run away.
Yeah, they smell really bad, which is weird. I think I never liked it. Anyway, Coach, where did you grow up?
I was wondering that. Have you always been from the district?
Yeah. So it's kind of, none of my schools are around anymore that I went to, though. I went to Mohawk Elementary School, which was at 67th Lamar. And then when I was 9, my parents got divorced. And so my dad moved over by Briarwood Elementary School, which is 87th and all. That's still there, although the original school got torn down and all the schools how they've been torn down.
Yeah.
So that school's still there. But then I went to Meadowbrook Junior High for 7th and 8th grade before I moved in with my mom 9th grade. So really kind of weird. Then I went to Milburn. So Meadowbrook is now a retirement home at 85th and Mission Road. It's a village of retirement homes. It's not even there. It was called, Mission Valley Middle School.
Wow, just think, Coach, maybe one day you can go back.
Yeah.
You and Deb could just go right back there.
There we go. And then I went to Milburn Junior High, which became Antioch, which is now the CAW, and then to North.
I can just imagine that you're at the retirement. I used to go to school.
And coach
Sure you
soccer on
did.
this field.
Sure you did. I bet you did.
Crazy old man.
Exactly.
I've actually only lived in about a 15-mile radius my entire life, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
So you're a J.O. kid through and through, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of funny. I mean, it's funny because in a sense of my wife went to Turner.
Really?
And we realized that had been at.
And so did that other girl that looked just like her, right?
I know, right? Yeah.
There was two of them walking around.
There was.
What's that story?
She's an identical twin.
Yeah, she's a twin.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
But we were at one night I was talking about this part. We were over in my old neighborhood. And I'm like, I remember being at a party at this house when we were in high school.
She goes, I was there too.
And I start describing what was going on. And she goes, oh, yeah. And then in this room, and I'm like, wait, hold it. And she goes, we're at the same party.
Wow.
And she was a freshman in high school. I was a senior in high school. And so.
Well, you almost said senior in college.
I know. I caught
She's a
myself.
freshman in high school, and I'm a senior in college. And
That's a little wrong. That'd be wrong. Because the girls, that would not be good at all. But no, so in high school. And yeah.
So you guys have always been like less than a 10-mile radius?
Well, not that. Then we started talking about, do you know the Avaluto family? That ran
the one, the restaurant down there?
And so they have a brother, Joe.
I used to work with one of the other brothers too.
Did you?
Yeah.
James or?
His name was Anthony.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So Joe and he started dating a girl from North. So all my juniors hanging out with Joe Avaluto. We'd go do different things because he was dating one of the LaRose girls. Mm-hmm. And that's where I was hanging out. So I got to know other people from Turner and all over the place. I'm like, and we just, so when I run into her or we run into some of her friends, I'm like, yeah, doesn't he have an older brother or something like that? So there's some things that we have in common. So it's kind of fun.
That's pretty interesting because, I knew a lot of kids from Turner as well.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it just crossed my mind. So the original, like the Italian Delight, that family. So it wasn't initially on the corner that closed down now, but it wasn't, the initial one wasn't.
It was over in KCK.
Yeah. And then that one, then the one.
Indian
Springs.
Mall.
Indian Springs. Yeah. So did you ever visit that mall as well?
No. So I just didn't start eating there until they moved into Mission when I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
And my mom worked for the city of Mission. She was a code enforcement officer, and she goes, there's a new Italian restaurant that opened up. And I mean, my mom, either way, she was like, do you want to go try it out? They said we get to eat there for free tonight. And I'm like,
of course.
I'm like, you're talking to a 16-year-old and you said food, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, let's do this. So I ate there all the time through high school because it was open lunch for all of us.
So that's where you guys went?
Oh, we'd go there all the time.
Was it faster?
We'd go there. Godfather's.
Oh, wow. Godfather's. You tell me Godfather's has been there since.
Oh, yeah.
Geez.
The one right next to
it's closed
Sherman
now.
Williams?
Yeah.
Sherman Williams.
So that everybody could walk there. And then we'd go there Mondays. Tuesdays was the building's not there anymore, but there used to be an A&W root beer where Kia's parking lot is.
Okay. So off of
Just to the east of, there's a liquor store on Shamish Parkway. Well, you know Scooters is.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a parking lot to the east of it. There's a vacant lot.
Oh, yeah. Behind it. The one that was behind it. Yeah. Okay.
So that used to be A&W, and we'd go in there and get 50-cent chili dogs on Tuesdays and dollar floats. So we'd go over there with, $4 and
Heck yeah.
yeah, you could eat like a king. And
yeah, you can't buy nothing for $4.
I know. And then during the soccer season on game days, I always went on Tuesdays and Thursdays for the soccer games, and I'd always go to Italian Delight to get the spaghetti with sausage.
Dang, and now I think about it, I think we messed up because our senior year, me, Will, and Danny all had weights class and then lunch. So we had that extra time in between from like us getting like dressed for regular thing going to lunch. What we did every Thursday, literally we go to Popeyes down the street. That was our Thursday thing. Now thinking about, damn, we should have been going to Italian Delight when it was still open. Did not even cross our minds.
Oh, but it wasn't. I mean, everything was affordable. So
yeah, the time. Yeah,
I mean, you could get at Godfather's for $5. I could get 2 slices of salad and a drink.
So my mind's just going all crazy right now.
No,
so
great.
you were at South for a little bit and then North.
No, East.
You were at East.
Mission East. So
East.
I started my teaching career at North.
Okay.
In 93, taught there for 4 years. Then East recruited me over to be their soccer coach.
Really is 30 years.
Okay.
I know, right? I went to East for 15 years and then back to North.
Okay. But when you were in high school as a kid, you were
North all the way, right?
I was North.
Yeah,
all the way through. Yep.
Okay. There's this cool picture that he had in his classroom of him and the rest of his soccer team on a grass field that used to be behind
Meadowbrook Junior High.
Yeah, there you go.
Because we played Mission East.
Yeah.
Because the night before was supposed to be the homecoming football game for East. And it got rained out. And so it got moved to Saturday as well. So we called it the homecoming soccer game. And we beat East, so we kind of felt pretty big.
Yeah. I just remember seeing that picture. I'm like, man.
So you shared the same field with the football?
Yes.
So if there was a rain out for the football game, would the soccer games get rained out?
Some of them should have.
Right, you would think because
regulations back then were a little loose, weren't they?
Do you think a soccer game can tear up a field more than a football game would?
Well, you're out on the flanks more. So in football, they run down the middle.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, that explains all the football fields. They were always mud right between the hash marks.
Yeah, you're destroying the field between. So if you played central midfield like I did, you hated it because you're just in mud. You're like, this is awful. Yeah, but most of the time we got moved to the JV football field if it was raining.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's just one night where we didn't. And back then you didn't cancel games for lightning.
No.
And we looked, and we're in the middle of the game, and I'm playing against my buddy from Liège. His name is Sean. And I go, should we be out on this field? Well, we looked back, and this is back in the days of the mullets, right? Good mullets.
Nice.
And I look back, and I look at my goalkeeper, and his hair standing straight up. And I'm like, that can't be good.
Run.
And everybody run off the field.
It struck the goalpost.
We get onto the track, and it hit the goalpost.
Oh, my God.
On the north end of North Stadium.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're all like, holy cow. And we all come rushing off. And actually, the funny thing is, I kind of had forgotten about that story until I was playing with Sean in college. He goes, do you remember when I was a senior and you were a sophomore and Seth was in goal? I'm like, holy cow, I totally forgot about that. And he goes,
someone could have died.
Yeah. But the referees never stopped the game. Nothing ever stopped. You just kept playing. And you're like, you guys getting back on the field? No, we're good with the tie. See ya.
Right. It's lightning out here.
And the water was like inch deep. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Slush.
On that night, we did tear up the field.
Yeah.
And football did not like us the next day.
All right. That trying to regrow it the next couple of years.
Yep.
Yes. Any high school memories? Anything to stick out? I'm sure you got a lot of them.
Yeah. Oh gosh, the good ones. In school ones that are good. Talk about no.
Like a favorite teacher.
It'd have to be Jerry Cormack. So his daughter teaches there now.
I was about to say. Wait, you're gonna tell me that Cormac is that? So
no. So I actually babysat her.
Oh my God! So and now you guys are room next door to each other.
Yeah. So I used to babysit her when I was in high school in college.
Was he the coach too? Was he the? soccer coach? Or
He was
wrestling.
He was our soccer coach.
Okay, that's what I thought. I knew
So
he
her
coached.
dad, Jerry, was our soccer coach. And no, I was this is kind of funny. We were just talking about this today with a different, my wife and I were interviewed today about something else.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Twofer. Get a twofer in.
Damn it. I was going to ask you, have you ever been interviewed by anybody?
Actually,
Damn, somebody beat me to it.
Duke Fry.
Duke Fry.
He and, oh gosh, who's the guy? He's on the news right now. He does the sports.
Frank Bowl. Oh, no, Frank
No,
Bowl's.
They used to be Time Warner Cable used to have in the 90s their own sports.
Yeah, Metro Sports?
Metro Sports.
Okay.
And when I was at Chemichin East, I had a really good soccer program, the girls program. And so they had me in to interview about my soccer program.
Really?
Yeah. So I was on TV for that one.
Today?
No. Today was
all right, because I'm gonna scratch out that whole soccer segment. We're not going to talk about that.
No. Today was actually kind of interesting because when I came into high school, I still do have dyslexia, right? So
I think I have dyslexia.
And so when I came into high school, back then we used to have remedial classes, and Coach Cormack just walked to me and he said, "Do you plan on doing anything after high school?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to go to college." He goes, "Nah, if you're in those classes, you need to get in this class." And so he was the one that really pushed and challenged me to, "Now we're going to put you in this biology class. You're going to be in this English class. You're going to do this." And he was one of the teachers in high school that just really made me do things. But he also made me do the embarrassing thing, and that is MC the talent show one year.
Did you?
Yeah. So I had to come out and all these different get-ups and sing country music one day.
That's awesome.
And all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to remember this one forever, aren't I? And so, yeah, that's one of my favorite memories of high school there's millions of them, but that was one of my top ones.
That's cool.
We had to do that. Me, Will, or no, it was me, Danny, and a couple others. We emceed the dance teams.
Did you really?
Yeah, we did their
All right.
performance. Yeah, in high school, we came out, did a whole dance routine ourselves too for the whole group. It was fun. That was fun. I remember that. Didn't get a chance to do it after though, because then they kind of changed
3 stiff boards out there trying to dance.
whatever.
Yeah, you wouldn't want me on the dance.
No, actually, that kind of reminds me because I was trying to get to earlier, saying if you ever went to Indian Springs to go to the Italian Delight, and if you're ever walking by the movie theaters, and he's like, "What's up with these dudes breakdancing over here?" That was probably my dad. I just want to know if those paths ever crossed.
No. Do you remember the Indian Springs Mall?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, completely.
Oh, so you would cross and come to the deep KCK once in a while, or
Quite a bit, actually. Yeah. My mom loved that mall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we were at 65th and Metcalf, or 67th.
Well, because you had Metcalf
Lamar.
South, right?
Yeah.
Metcalf South Mall.
We had Metcalf South and
Oak Park Mall.
But there was
And
I don't
Mission
know
Mall,
what store it was. My mom loved at Indian Springs.
Uh-huh.
So, and it was just going down Metcalf the opposite way.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So actually, matter of fact,
Yeah. 2 malls on the same road, pretty much.
yeah, when I was 14, my buddy Scott, Scott and I were thick as thieves as kids.
Uh-huh.
But his uncle, for whatever reason, came up and threw us the keys to his car. Said, "Hey, why don't you 2 take the car for a ride?" We had just learned to drive, right? I mean, I'm like, okay, so we got
what kind of car?
Porsche 911.
Hey.
Yeah. He owned a bunch of apartments down in Emporia. He was from Emporia, Kansas.
Oh, okay, so
And he brought up his car, and Scott goes, "I'll drive it." And I'm like, "I won't." So, so we pull out onto Metcalf, and we make our way over to Metcalf, and I don't even know how many gears it was, but I know by the time we were in third, we were at 100 miles an hour, and we were
Flying down.
Oh, we were already at Indian Springs Mall. We pulled out on somebody first to Metcalf, and he goes, "Let's see what we can do." And I'm like, and then so we came back probably driving Miss Daisy. I think we were doing about 45 miles an hour. That was way too fast.
That's funny.
Yeah, we had a good time.
that's funny.
You still keep up with all your high school buddies, and because it sounds like you.
Oh yeah, yeah. My high school buddies, my buddy David was out. He was my best man at my wedding. He was out in California, but his birthday was yesterday, so we talked yesterday. My buddy Kent lives in Omaha, and then I have even my childhood buddies that I still talk to.
That's awesome. Yeah, I still have a lot of buddies as well. All high school buddies, and trying to get them in here little by little. And
so, what was the last reunion you guys had?
Our 35th high school reunion was the same weekend as the 100.
Oh,
yeah.
so that kind of explains why there's so many people as well.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
so you had all these different classes.
That was a good
back.
crowd. That was a great crowd, really.
Crazy.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. But then halftime was done and everybody took off.
Right. And the funny thing about it is that was high school for me because we didn't have cell phones. So everybody came to every game.
Yeah.
Because you had are we going to the river? Where are we going for the after party, right?
We're going to Indian Springs.
The river.
Oh, so we used to always go.
Is this like Johnson County's version of like a quarry, or is it?
No, we'd actually go down to the Kansas River.
Okay.
Fish?
Oh no.
Oh
no. So my sophomore, you got to remember, 18 was still legal.
Oh, dang, that's true. Yeah.
So the seniors would always say the party's at the river, and everybody go to the river.
I like to imagine it was kind of like the same scenario as if like watching that 70s show.
It was like watching that 70s show. My initiation felt like that 70s show.
You ended up in a dress?
And a paddle. If you ever seen Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Oh, that was, my mom was like this, like,
You're like 16?
She was the most protective mom in the world. But on that night, she's like, go have
fun.
on your own.
Have at it, kid.
I'm like, this is not going to go well for me.
Like 15, 16?
I was 16.
Okay, yeah.
I was 16 my sophomore year of high school.
Down by the river.
Yeah.
Down by the river.
So we'd go to the river and, or we'd go, there was other areas we'd go afterwards or somebody's house, whatever. But you had to go to the game.
Yeah.
So everybody would go to the games. So our games were always packed up. It's only since the invention of the cell phone that you've lost your crowds.
Yeah.
Because it didn't matter who you were playing. We'd go over and play Wyandotte in basketball, or we'd play Leavenworth in football.
Yeah.
It'd be packed because you had to go.
Yeah. Man, that's awesome.
Crazy. One of our best times, like more recently, in terms of traveling, was when the boys basketball went to state in 2016.
Yeah.
Because that was a great crowd that ended up there.
And I know the boys got mad at me for not going. I said, I haven't gone to your game yet. You've won. I'm not. And I am, athletes are superstitious. I don't know.
Right.
And so I was like, I can't jinx it for you.
Right.
Like when the Royals won the World Series, I was like, I'm like, the last World Series, right?
Yeah. 2015.
Everybody was always going down. And every time I'd go down to the house that we were all hanging out at, they start to lose. So I'm like, I'll just go back up.
I'm gonna watch outside in the window.
So I went back up to my house on the same block and graded. Literally, I was grading papers, and I could listen to the neighborhood go crazy. And finally, I get the phone call. You can come down now.
We won. Come down. Come celebrate.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'll tell you what, that 2016 basketball season was just crazy.
Oh yeah,
it was so much fun. I didn't get to expect. Well, you know what? Back in 88, 89, we did go to state, but one game I was a mascot. I didn't watch the game because I was a mascot, and I think we were in Emporia. Yeah, I was like, I can't wear this damn thing anymore. Did we win? Did we lose? What happened? Oh, we got knocked out. Oh shit. Okay. Anyway, yeah, but
overall that was a really great year for North though. 2016 was a huge year for North because
that was fun.
We won state in basketball, we won state in track, and then the ROTC was the national championship.
That's right. And people don't understand if you're not in high school how important high school sports are.
Yeah.
Because and how successful, and when a program's successful, the electricity it brings to students, not just the athletes, but to the students, feel so much better about what they're doing. They feel excited. I mean, we only won the 2 games at the beginning of the season, but for 3 weeks, that school this year was just like, that win over Olathe.
That was huge. I remember. To be fair, they had every game was within their grasp, though.
Yeah, they played really well.
They played really well. I hope it puts a fire under their butts for freaking how much the new equipment that they got, the new freaking facility. You don't understand how pissed I am just for graduating. I'm like, because the following year they get the freaking new scoreboard, the new freaking jumbotron.
Yeah, the jumbotron.
Oh my god, thing's freaking awesome. Are you serious? Like, then they get the new equipment, the state of the art freaking weight room. Like, oh my god, we were in the dungeon working out back then. I mean, we got it in, but still, like, it's so awesome to see like they kind of keep developing.
Yeah, well, you also have to present
needs.
New equipment too, because it's when families are moving and think about where to go to high school.
See, and I was wondering about that, and because I was telling others, I really wonder because the following is it within the next 2 years that they're cutting out the border lines of like you can go to any
that's
school?
back. Kansas is looking at that again out of and for multiple reasons, but
Really?
yeah, because money doesn't go with the student,
right.
so you could burden a district. One district or school could get burdened and have too many students in there.
Right.
But they can also say, hey, we're at capacity and turn away students.
Yeah.
But so if I'm a North kid, right? And all of a sudden I want to go to whatever high school.
Yeah.
Harmon,
right? So I want to go to Harmon.
Some Harmon kids came to North.
But my money in Johnson County is going to stay there. It's not going to go help out the faculty at Harmon.
Right.
So Kansas benefits nothing from it. Right.
Interesting.
So they're kind of re-looking at how is this going to work out?
Right.
And then you end up with the transportation issue.
That's true. Cause I mean, now buses can go that far.
No. And they've already if you have a student who wants to go someplace and he just doesn't have his own ride, he's
stuck.
Yeah. He's stuck.
Yeah.
Right. For whatever reason, why he or she wants to move to a different building. If they don't have their own transportation, then it doesn't work out.
No, that makes sense. I just said so because, like, if that was the case, then they're doing the right job to hopefully bring in more students who are like, man.
Well, the problem with it is it creates a recruiting war within your own district.
I didn't start. I mean, it's always been going on. If I'm being honest, there's always.
But it would be worse.
Yeah,
it would be worse. I mean, everybody would be looking at everybody's 8th graders going, all right, you need to come here. You need to come here, right?
Yeah.
Even more so. Because now I don't have to have a reason. I can just walk up to you.
True. Yeah.
Speaking of recruiting, I don't know if you remember this, Coach, but what year was that when we had that kid from, I think, North Carolina come in? And
oh, my God.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember this, but there was some kid who saw the boys. Oh, well, I was working with you guys, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I was trying to get Marcos. I said, you know what? This was before school. It was the summer.
Literally this summer. And I was trying to get these kids conditioned for football. So I had Will and Marcos and Danny. I had all those kids out there. Then they all started bringing everybody in. I had a good maybe 20 kids. Yeah. And all of a sudden another kid comes in. Just didn't know him from anybody, but he said he was going to go to North and he wanted to play football and he was a running back and he was a big kid. And I'm like, okay, sweet. So he starts working out with us. Long story short, the school starts and he's enrolled and everything's going. And all of a sudden I'm at the school one day and the principal, I'm sorry. At the time it was
Kramer. Kramer sees me. He says, hey, he goes, I need to speak to you. I'm like, what's going on? He goes, come into my office. I was like, I haven't been told that in a long time for a principal to tell me,
Garcia,
hey, come into my office. So I'm standing like where you are, and he's on his computer, and he says, "Come around, check this out." I come around the corner, and I'm like, "What's up?" He goes, "You know that kid that you were working with out during the summer, and he's starting to go to school here." I said, "Here's a video of him." I said, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Yeah, this was like 10 years ago." I go, "What?" Oh, or maybe not 10, maybe 7. I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "This kid's 24 years old."
Oh, he was just trying to enroll back.
He was trying to enroll back in school so he could play football for North. And he had just come in town to live with his dad.
It's just
no way.
Yeah, and he was trying to get back into the school.
It was so weird.
You kind of remember that?
It was just so weird. Like,
we're like, oh, man. I was like, can we still keep him, Coach? Kramer, he's a big kid.
Yeah. It's just the weirdest thing. It was because we started like, dude, that dude was 26. Like, what? I was a 26-year-old here.
He was trying to play football.
No wonder he looked so good.
I know, right? He was a man trying to play. Yeah,
it was the weirdest thing. I don't know.
That was crazy, and that was really short-lived. And I remember telling Coach Marty Schneider, I was like, "Yeah, dude, he's way too old to play football with high school." It was just weird. It was a weird thing.
He was playing high school with his own kid.
I know,
right? Probably. It was so
weird. You still coaching? To this day, you still coaching?
I still coach club,
okay,
club soccer and high school golf. So I still have a lot of I coach the boys and girls high school golf. I'm the assistant coach. So
wait, you're the assistant coach?
I'm the assistant coach for the golf team. Yeah. So, I still am one of the assistant directors for KC Fusion.
Okay.
And I
doing
have
the fusion thing,
07, which is U16 girls soccer team I'm coaching.
How long have you been coaching?
I was just thinking about that. Competitively for 31 years, overall for 34 years.
So before you started teaching, huh?
Oh yeah, long before I started teaching. Matter of fact, making myself feel really old. I did my student teaching in 92, and those kids, one of the boys on the team, I think it's next January or next February, not coming up. So in 24, they'll be 50. Because I'm only 5 years older.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's like, hold it. That can't be right. Hold it. This cannot be happening to me.
Wow.
Yeah. It's coming up pretty soon. Because I ran into one of them, like, so how old are you now? This is one of the kids who's a freshman. His son plays in our club, and he goes, oh, I'm 46. And I went, what? Because he was just a freshman. Yeah. I'm like, you're not 46. You're like, tell me you're 31. He goes,
yeah, right.
Because I'm old, coach. I got kidney stones
you know
now.
What? I know, but I'm a grandpa now, coach.
I know. Oh,
that's great. So it's funny you say that, but I mean, so when I was in high school, I didn't play high school basketball, but I started coaching while I was in high school.
Yeah,
and I was coaching freshman kids. So I'm a junior, senior. I know these kids that are freshmen that didn't play freshman ball for the high school, but there was a rec league going on, and I said, I'll coach you guys over here. So it's crazy because, yeah, like you said, a friend of mine that I know, he still to this day calls me coach.
Yeah,
and I'm only like 3 years older than him, maybe. It's crazy, and they still call me coach. And it feels good to hear,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this guy, he used to coach me back in the day. And I'm like, yeah, that's.
You don't lose that coaching title. Once you coach a kid, they're always going to be coached.
Yeah. I remember I was coaching high school girls basketball at Chemison East.
So you did. So you did coach other. Because that was my next question. Did you do any other sports? Baseball, basketball, football,
basketball.
maybe.
I grew up playing basketball. Okay. Basketball is actually my first love. I love. Yeah. Until I realized I wasn't going to any taller, and I can't jump. So those two things.
Quick. I'm good with my feet.
Yeah, I could.
But you can run forever.
I could run forever,
right?
And that's what the coaches used to have me do.
We're gonna go boxing one. That's their top scorer. Just stay on that guy the whole game.
Yep,
Because
that's pretty much what happened to me 9 times out of 10. And I was coaching freshman girls basketball at Chemison East, and I had a girl, one of the seniors, who was helping me coach. She didn't make the basketball team. She wanted to be part of the program. I'm like, be my assistant coach. Yeah. She's like, great. And then I got tossed out of a game. And she had actually coached the team. I'm like, oh, see ya.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Do you remember how you got tossed out?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you say?
Okay. So
what'd you do?
There was it's freshmen, so you don't get the best officiating.
Right. Yeah.
And the gentleman who was officiating us was probably 69, 70 years old. Right? Barely going up and down the court. We're playing at Miege.
Yeah.
And anyway, he was making all these bad calls. I'm like, oh my God, seriously, you got to make one call right. Yeah. And then another thing happens, and I had a dry erase marker in my hand. I tossed it in the air, and I caught it. As I turned around, he turned around, teased me up. And I go, what is that for? And he goes, no young punk's going to throw chalk in my face. And I go, that proves what a dumbass you are. It's a pen. Got the second tee, and out I go.
Oh, wow.
And all the kids on the team, all these girls were like, he's a dumbass.
Coach Ricky.
So out I went, and Emily had to coach the rest of the game for me. So it was kind of funny.
That's really funny.
So that was her coaching debut. She's like, I finished the whole second half. I'm like, yeah, you did great.
As a freshman.
Yeah.
And so when our girls were playing and you were coaching, our team mom, you used to coach her, right?
Hold on, which one was the team mom? I've coached so many of the parents.
You're playing generations of kids.
I am. I've coached so many kids and their parents so far.
That's
who was our
I'm drawing a blank too. She was our mid. She was our captain.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Stacy.
Yes, Stacy. Yes. Yeah, sorry about that, Stacy, if you're watching.
No. Stacy. Yeah. So Stacy. Yeah, I had Stacy at Chemison North.
Yeah.
back in 93, 94, her senior year. And I was the assistant varsity coach and the JV coach. And yeah, I'd work with her. And yeah, Chapman, we'd give her all kinds of hard time. And
Yeah. That's pretty wild. Yeah.
oh yeah, she was always.
I mean, how'd that make you feel? Like you're like,
oh, old. Yeah. Now that her daughter's a senior in high school,
I know, right? Yeah, we just saw her. Ileana was in where were we at? In a tournament, volleyball tournament, sub-state, and we saw her there. And she was like, "Wow, I didn't know Ileana was that good at volleyball." You know, she was just amazed by watching her play.
Ileana was good at everything she did.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, so you know, I know it's an ongoing joke or not, but you know, Ileana, the best athlete of my family. You know, I don't know how that rumor started or where it came from. You know, but you know, I use it to this day. Every time I talk about Ileana, I'm like, oh yeah, she's the best one. Of course, these guys are like, yeah, whatever. You know.
It was my way of just twisting a little bit on Marcos over there. Just,
You know who also says that a lot was Melcher. Now Miss Moorhead. Yeah. She would say that a lot. Like Ileana, the best Garcia.
Yeah, Mod just rolls his eyes. Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
No, I used to always give him a hard time about that. Even when Mod was playing soccer for me, I'm like, well, at least your sister can do that.
Yeah, the one thing that drives me crazy watching Ileana play, because she plays back, and every time a ball comes hard at her, she turns her body. She turns her body and lets the ball hit her in the butt and the back. Mod used to do that all the time.
I know.
You know, you remember that, right? Yeah. And when Ileana does that to this day, I yell out, "Mod, stop!" You know, I always call her Mod. You know. Yeah, she turns her body, and every time
I definitely would get on her about that quite a bit.
Yeah, she still does it. She still does it.
Crazy,
right? Yeah. If you went back in time into high school, is there anything you tell yourself differently?
Oh man, you know what? I think everybody kind of runs that through their head a few times.
Yeah.
I'm afraid if I did, I wouldn't have had such a great experience.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe just if I would have. Well, you know, actually, it's kind of funny because I want to say I would probably have studied a little bit more. I did. So back when we were in high school, you had to have a 2.75 to play.
Okay.
Right? You couldn't play sports without 2.75. So I graduated with a 2.75. I figured it out because I was very social. I loved to be around. Oh, yeah, let's go do this. Let's go do that. Right. And I was always out and about, and I was great at giving teachers a hard time. And I mean, everybody laughs at the fact you're a teacher. As much as hard time you gave all the teachers, I'm like, yeah, it's great, you know, because the kids can't get away with it because I did everything they want to do.
Yeah.
And so maybe study a little bit harder because I had to pass up on an offer to go play. If I would have had a 3.0, then I could have gone to Holy Cross and played there.
Where's that?
Back east. It's an old school. And the only reason why they're going to give it to me is because they didn't have to give me a scholarship. Because my great aunt, out of all things in the world, my great aunt Helen was the curator for their history department.
Huh.
So I would have, she was a curator for something they did there. I want to say history. And so they were allowed to bring me in for free.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that would have been kind of fun to try that.
Some kind of legacy thing?
Yeah. And then, but you had to have a 3.0.
Oh.
Or 26 on the ACT, and I didn't have that. But then...
Are those numbers still the same nowadays?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got to rank somewhere. Like, I think most, like, KU, you have to have like a 24 and above, if not 25.
Well, the ACT in Kansas is kind of, to get into universities, you don't need them anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to graduate from accredited high school. You have to have a certain GPA.
Okay.
When you're graduating, and you can go. But even JUCO's pretty hard now. JUCO will let you in, but if you fail a class, they'll tell you you're not ready for this. We don't want to waste your money, so go back.
Huh.
Grow up a little bit.
They're taking your consideration that you wasting your money? That's crazy.
I know, right? Well, that's the one.
That's nice.
It is. It's pretty. It's amazing, right? They have different ways to score you. But now the NCAA got rid of the ACT during COVID. but they're bringing it back this year. Because my daughter Kate, who's a junior, just accepted to play at UCM Division II.
Yep.
But they're asking for her to take the ACT again because they needed to go higher score. She can play, but they want to be able to give her
more money.
Yeah. But you have to hit certain marks.
Right.
So she's like, all right, I'll go study for this thing again. Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, good luck to her.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. She'll be playing. It's easy for me because Molly, my second child, plays there right now. She'll be a senior when Kate's a freshman.
Oh, wow. So
I have two at the same university playing soccer.
Yeah, that'd be
so
cool.
I don't have to go buy new spirit wear or anything.
Because you got to see them. Yeah, right. You got to see them play at Mill Valley. Yeah, that was awesome.
It was. It was
was
pretty special.
Yeah, that was cool. I remember that.
Molly was a pretty good big sister for her.
Right.
So
that's cool.
We'll see if she does the same thing in college because college is a little bit more cutthroat.
Yeah.
Is that how you're going to spend your retirement? Probably just kind of just taking trips and going down to see them a lot.
Well, retirement won't happen for many more years.
Oh no!
Oh no! I mean,
what do you mean by quit teaching? Well,
I can retire from teaching.
Okay.
Because I hit in Kansas, you have to have years of experience and your age hit a certain number.
Ooh.
And when you do that, then you can draw your pension. So I can draw a pension next year. But it's not enough to survive.
Yeah.
Because of things called healthcare and other things that cost a lot of money, right? And 4 daughters will cost me a lot of weddings and stuff of that nature. So I just want to branch out and see if there's something else to do.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah, that's about it. So
time to take golfing professionally.
Oh, I'm not that good. And my wife would be like, oh no, he's using this as an excuse.
Yeah. So, speaking of your daughters, so you have 4 girls.
Yes.
And then you have your wife. That's 5 girls in the house. So like our last guest, Coach Augie, he had the 3 boys. And I asked him, I said, so what's it like bringing in the girls? Because they all have girlfriends. One's married, so he has a daughter-in-law. And so I'm like, whoa. I mean, with Ileana, it's just crazy. And I don't know how, more power to you, Coach. You have 4 girls. That's crazy. That's
yeah. Bringing in the boys, they've all had boyfriends.
Oh, really?
Not the youngest one, but Kate.
I mean, real quick. I mean, if you don't want to talk about the boys, we don't have to.
No.
I'm just trying to figure out how you did it with 4 girls.
It's been interesting. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Because the girls get annoyed with me because the boys come in and I kind of go, oh, guys. So
well, you'd be the kind of dad as if the boyfriend I would kind of appreciate.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, let's talk.
You are exactly.
Let's sit around. We can watch basketball. We can watch football. What do you want to watch?
And again, also it's your personality.
Hell, I'm not the only one that's going to lift up the lid this time or the toilet seat.
That's right.
Right?
Blame it on him.
There you go.
Right. Now, you have the personality that I think as a boyfriend, like coming to meet a new family, like, okay, this is a pretty solid way to meet a dad. He's not being intimidating, but he wants to obviously make a connection right here.
Right.
And because I remember, this is also another story you told me that I really love, is the one of the story when you met your wife's dad for the first time. It was the way that you guys shook hands.
Yeah.
You copied his mannerisms, like the way that they shake hands, like something about grabbing the elbow.
Yeah. He always does that.
Yeah, And it was just like one of those kind of things, like, oh, like as her dad was like, okay, I like this guy because I like how he's kind of reciprocating the feeling back. So I mean, hopefully these boys are doing.
You got to just give them a nice, firm handshake to let them know what you're all about.
Let that smile be misleading.
Yeah, well,
because Jay Sean got one of those from me. Yeah. He got a nice handshake from me. I think I heard a couple of knuckles pop.
I do that to Jay Sean as well for you. So
okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Poor kid, he's like, really? Okay. No, Molly's boyfriend currently, she's dating a football player from UCM. And he's a lot bigger than I am. He is 6'4", 280 pounds.
It's huge.
Yeah, defensive line.
Yeah,
big kid.
Just baseball bat will work, Coach. Believe me.
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
You probably.
I'm phone call away too, Coach. If you.
He's old Wyandotte family, Grable family. I don't know if like Scott Grable is his dad, but they're firemen and they all grew up. Turner.
Okay.
They're all in that. Yeah. So usually when I'm talking to somebody, I say Grable, they're like, Oh,
Really?
the Grable family. I'm like, yeah.
Turner. No, not ringing the bell, but maybe.
I bet it's out there. I bet we know someone who knows them.
Oh,
the
yeah.
family.
Somebody who's now watching this is going to be like, oh,
The Grables.
oh, yeah. She's dating Wyatt.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, having the 4 girls and the boys is kind of fun. Yeah. And you have to sit back because you know that sometimes there's going to be a cry, right? Somebody's going to hurt somebody's feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And then, and I'm like, how come you're not like in on this? I'm like, it's your experience, not mine. It's okay. There'll be another boy coming around here pretty soon. And they're like, oh, okay. And it's not me being mean.
Yeah.
I like to make the connection, but I'm not going to get attached.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There'll become a time where I'll have when they're older and it's the
More serious. Yeah.
when it's the boy, right? Then, but right now it's just a boy coming over.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting.
but it's always best I found if I just bring them in a little closer. Like, can I make you food? Can I get you something? What do you want?
Yeah. They got to meet the mean uncle.
I mean, uncle.
Yeah.
Do you have siblings?
I have a brother who lives over in Wyandotte.
Oh, okay.
And he does construction. And then I have a sister who lives in New Zealand. She fell in love, moved to New Zealand.
Oh, one of those.
She retired from work. When she was 55. She's been over there. She moved over in the fall of 19, and COVID hit. So she's been stuck over there until Thanksgiving this year. She came over for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Huh,
And then I've got a sister from my dad's second marriage, who lives in Phoenix, who's awesome. Yeah. So
You ever make those trips? New Zealand, Phoenix?
I've not made the New Zealand trip. I do want to make it because my sister lives on a golf course.
Hey,
Not a nice golf course. She's her front yard leads up to the golf course.
yeah.
Her boyfriend is a sheep shearer. So they have sheep. And then he goes all around and shears sheep.
Interesting.
It pays really well if you're really good, by the way.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah. Like he when he was younger.
I mean, wool's a hot commodity, so.
Yeah. Well, and then so he would come
Literally.
his first wife he met in Wyoming or someplace. Yeah. He'd meet in Wyoming someplace because his crew would got hired to come to the United States, and they'd go to England and they'd go someplace else.
Just shearing sheep?
Shearing sheep. And he would make $175,000 a year.
We're in the wrong career then. We need to be sheep shearers.
Yeah.
Or herders.
Yeah. I mean, he would tell me about it was great money. I mean,
It's weird.
yeah, New Zealand's really weird, by the way. I haven't been there, but they do apartments, but you think of apartment, I think, whatever. No, it'd be like renting this room,
Yeah.
but it's mobile and it's glass. And then they just take it and set it someplace, and then people come and rent from you. And then it's by like a community bathroom and stuff. So you don't need to have anything running to it. People will just go out. This is where they sleep.
That sounds grody.
Yeah, really weird. And so he has these, they look like, I don't know, a cabin you buy at Home Depot.
IKEA?
Yeah.
Like
IKEA, yeah.
Like glass, like see-through glass or like.
Yeah, they put curtains up in the whole bit. So yeah.
I can't do it.
Not all of it was glass, but
Yeah, okay. I'm just saying it feels weird. I don't know.
kind of crazy.
Speaking of sheep, we need to find those shears to shave Dallas. So we have a dog named Dallas, big ass dog.
Don't know how you came with that name. Adam.
Yeah,
I know what gave it away. Exactly.
yeah. And been to any Chiefs games this year?
Have
you been following the Chiefs?
I follow them every single year.
There.
I have not. You're going to find this kind of interesting. I have not been to a Chiefs game since the fall of '98.
I don't find it interesting at all. I think it's okay.
Because it's Chiefs. But I've been to a lot of Dallas games. No.
Thanks.
No, the last one I went to is when, I don't know if you remember the game, but it was Monday Night Football. And Derek Thomas was still playing.
Yeah.
And
Was it the rainy night?
And he face masked Shannon Sharp like 3 or 4 times in that game. And we were sitting down low in one of the corners. I was with a buddy of mine, and the biggest fight broke out. I mean, it was crazy. It started off, these 2 women got in a fight. And then they're
This is in the crowd. I thought
yeah.
this was a football player. I thought you were talking about Shannon Sharp.
Oh no, those guys like Dallas or Denver just kicked the crud out of Kansas City that night.
That night.
It was a
Hey,
meltdown.
you know what? when Shannon Sharp, Elway,
Yeah.
they were good.
This is when they're winning Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
like Shannon
Terrell
Sharp every
Davis.
And but probably 200 people. They had to bring in police. I mean, it was getting crazy. And I looked at my buddy. I'm like, it's time for us to go. I mean, let's go. But we were there early, and there was a scrum out in the parking lot already
It led out to the parking lot
before the game.
Oh,
And then it gets in there, and they go crazy on each other in the game. And I'm like, oh, this is not going well. And the funny thing about it is, out of the crazy thing, here's the one thing I remember: the two ladies, one had a Chiefs shirt on, the other one Raider shirt on, not even a Broncos shirt. Who they're playing?
that hatred runs too deep.
It is. I was like, wow, this is crazy. So then I've been offered games since then. I'm like, I'm all right.
Yeah.
We're good. I'll go out there. I head for concerts.
Yeah,
But it gets
What was the last concert you attended?
out there. It's been a
There
couple
or
years.
any?
Oh, Garth Brooks was the last one.
There at Arrowhead, right?
Yeah, Garth Brooks.
Didn't he have like 7 shows
in a
or
row?
something
Yeah,
like that? Yeah.
Because the first one we didn't get, we're like bummed out, and then all of a sudden, hey, we're going another one.
You had 7 chances to
I
get
know.
it to go to a concert.
we're gonna catch
And
one
he
of them.
sold out every single one.
Oh my gosh! And it was kind of funny because what is that? Spring of 20? What was that? 20? Fall of 20? It was the fall of 20, right? When he put that on, and the very next day, after the last show is when Kansas City, Missouri, went back to mandates of masks. Like, we're all in this place, nobody has a mask on, and it's like, oh, COVID's gone. And all of a sudden, the very next day, it's back. What? Hold
And so
on.
everybody, all right, everybody pull your shirts up and over your nose and just walk around like
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm like, did that just happen? Like, the city waited. They knew, like, get the money, get the money, get the money, get the money. Okay.
I know, right? And then
Put it back on.
throw it in there. Damn.
Did you adapt well to that when teaching, when COVID everything hit?
Did I adapt well to it?
Yeah,
If we had to stay on
online.
online another year, I probably would have just gone off and done something different. Because my whole way of teaching is connecting.
It is. I
Right.
know. It's
And
hard
I-
to do that on computer. I mean,
And and then our district, no, I'm not putting the district down. It was
Sure,
what happened,
sure.
but did not mandate the kids have their screen on.
everyone could have like a black screen,
So
so
they
whether
got
or
a
not.
black screen.
Yeah.
And I remember even one time when they were away, right before we brought them in that fall of 21, I was trying to ask this student a question. I'm like, hey, so-and-so, what do you think about this? And finally somebody's on the, you know how you have the
Message,
messaging on
yeah.
the side, said, you won't find her there because I'm at the mall or wherever they were shopping, or they were shopping, grocery shopping. And this person was like interacting in my class the whole time.
Yeah.
Like even over there, but they were on their mobile, but doing their work, doing all their work.
Right.
And finally turned on the screen and said, there she is. She's and her nothing around her whatsoever. So she had logged on and took off.
Damn.
And that happened a lot. Every once in a while, I'd say, okay, everybody can leave early. And that way I could see how many people had left, right? That weren't even paying attention to our class. And there was just way too many of them. And I didn't get to know them. I didn't know them at all.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being a
Yeah.
teacher during this time.
Yeah. So,
That-
Or even
yeah.
a student. I'm like,
yeah. And that was it. You know, my own daughters got really good at cheating. I mean, they were resourceful because, all right, open up my computer, put on my cell phone here, get into a group chat with all my everybody else, and they'd all go through the test together. 1's 8, 2's this, you know, and they go through it and just answer all these questions. And I'm like, you better not get an A because you never get A's on everything else. Might want to miss a few on purpose.
right?
Yeah,
Make
right.
it look like you're not cheating. If you're getting perfect scores because you're looking down at your book, then yeah.
You know what? Well, we can ask the man on the wheels of steel, Chris. Was it like that?
Yes.
Were you cheating?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
Probably.
Which is yes, I was.
He said, I don't know. I don't
I
remember.
don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It was either I don't remember, or I don't care.
It can't be both, Chris.
Oh, it's definitely both.
Yeah.
A little bit, I don't remember, and I don't care.
Yeah.
That
So,
sucked.
no.
That had to, that had
was-
to have been tough.
But there was a lot of teachers who were
Kinda-
the number of principals across the country that retired that year.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Because of the COVID?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
realize
very
that.
next year, like trying to come back in, the number that quit again. And superintendents. Well, remember, Shy Mission lost their superintendent during that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because you couldn't do anything right. Didn't matter
Right.
what you did, it was going to be wrong. And you just get tired of getting beaten up.
Yeah.
I mean, board meetings would be ugly. Board meetings where my wife is would be ugly. She'd be like, oh, this is just not good. So
No doubt.
Yeah. So eventually you're just going to, all right, you know what? I can go make this doing something else where people aren't going to beat me up.
All right. Speaking of Deborah, is she still a principal?
She is.
Where at?
She's in the Baser Linwood School District.
Baser. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My sister lives out there in Baser Linwood. It's like everybody's going that way.
Right to Baser? I know.
Well, there's
Remember that
land.
was one time Tornado Alley? Remember that one time that
This
tornado
is 3 years ago.
was it 3 years ago when that tornado went
It
all
was
the way
not
through?
that long ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was longer than that.
No.
No, that was maybe May of 20.
Yeah, literally, I could say within the past.
That was
3
before
years.
COVID.
Was
Had to
it?
have been.
Then it had to be May.
Can you imagine all the
19.
masks flying around?
Okay, so it had to be May of 19. So it was May of 19.
Yeah, let's
But
not
it was-
talk
it
about
was-
the homes getting destroyed. Let's talk about the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have some friends that live out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have this beautiful house, and they had
Okay.
they used to have a dock house. They had a pond in the front yard
Uh-huh.
that he turned into a fish pond, and it would get knocked over. It got knocked into but blew everywhere. And this family across the street from them had just moved into their brand new house, just had it built. And so all the kids and the mom went down in the basement. And when the tornado went through, they came back up, and there wasn't even a board standing, just the floor of the main level
Wow.
in their basement, and their house was gone.
Jeez.
I'm like,
That's
holy cow,
crazy.
they lost it all. And they just moved in.
They built it themselves. Or they had it
Yeah,
built.
they had
up?
it built.
Oh my god.
And it was a brand new house. And it was, I think somebody told me they'd been in there less than a month.
Oh,
Jeez.
Goodbye house.
jeez. I couldn't even imagine that.
I know. I think about that time because here in the summer, we just put a shed up, aluminum shed, one of those old school ones, but it has like 6 million screws you got put together. And we were out there one hot summer day, and I'm like, all right, this son of a bitch better not fly away one of these days, you know.
It's not bolted.
I
down
still
like-
need to put it down in the concrete, but I haven't got to that yet.
It's all
so.
just like that, like really light, like
It's heavy. Those things are heavy, but
Yeah,
storms,
I mean,
a storm would
together-
take it out.
Is it full though?
It's full right now, yeah.
Well, then you're fine.
well, no. There's no bottom to it. It's just like
It's sitting on a concrete slab.
Lab. Okay. Yeah. you might want to bolt that down.
Yeah, and I planned to do that, and I just never did. So hopefully the snow will keep it down.
If
right
you only
right
had
now.
sons, I could do that.
I know, right? That would be nice.
Who are considerate and caring and took advantage of that.
I couldn't rob him of that time. He enjoys doing that stuff.
Completion of a project. There's a lot of truth to that, isn't it?
There is. And when I want to get something done, I want to do it myself because I know you want to do it right.
Right.
That's the way it happens.
Just, like you're doing it wrong. Move. I'll do it myself.
Yeah. Dad, I just bought this shelf. Here, give it to me. I'll put it up.
See, I'm that way with laundry. If I just do it wrong the first time, my wife has been doing it ever since.
Yeah, laundry. Yeah, that's.
It was the hack 30 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay. So, as we move forward, you remember Coach Howard?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I had told you this. So we had shot an episode up at JC Harmon.
Right.
And that's where we met him. I didn't know him at all. And he introduced himself to us. He's sitting there. So if you ever get a chance to watch that episode,
I will.
it's
He's the
Coach.
he's the last person. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess he was there from 1990 to 2015 at JC Harmon.
Harmon. And before Harmon, he was at Shamish North.
Yeah.
Okay. And what years would you say? Because that's what I was trying to figure out. Because
we were looking
He
back
was
and
there
doing
in
the
the
math.
70s because my sister had him.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So so I think he had said he was there from 75 to 83.
Yeah, because I came in. My brother and my sister both had him at North. I come in 84,
Okay.
the fall of 84, and he was gone.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
See, so I thought he said he had coached you soccer, or did he?
Oh, Coach Howard.
Yeah, Coach Howard.
Yeah. Well, we'd coach against each other a lot, by the way.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And, but then, yeah, he would come out and help out with some of our youth teams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he didn't coach you, but he coached against you.
Coach against me, but he'd come out and help out with some of the youth teams when I was a kid. Yeah. When soccer first started in where I lived, it was dads reading books, trying to figure it out. and
Right.
they would, if there was,
Shit, I was doing that.
I know. And all these guys would just come out.
Still don't
and
know the rules.
I
still
had
don't
some
know.
great dads that, that put a lot of sweat equity into us and wanted us to be better. And so so anybody that came by that said they knew something about it, well, come out and help us out with this. We're trying to do this. So we'd get to know other coaches from different areas. There was somebody brought in an uncle from London one time. Oh yeah. So we had a British accent out there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. And so it was kind of fun. And he was helping us out. So we've gone through our, you just went through a carousel of coaches as a kid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody knew basketball, everybody knew football, everybody knew baseball. So any dad could jump out and do that.
Yeah.
But soccer, you would always get, and then the dads who coach soccer would get a little ridicule from the dads that coach football because you're like, what are you doing? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just sitting there trying to, because I rewatched that episode and I was trying to figure out if he coached you or I didn't even know he coached against you. Yeah. And he had said that in 69, he beat South for the state championship, or he played football.
He played
football.
Football. That's right.
football.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he beat South. Yeah.
Yeah.
In 69.
That's crazy. Yeah. So he was one of the first ones up.
Yeah. That was a good squad in 69
Because I thought they won, like they were good from 69, 70, 71.
73 or something.
To 73 to 74. I mean, they
have 74.
They had a nice
75.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Football
When
wise.
Larry Taylor was the football coach.
Yes. Larry Taylor.
Yeah. Coach Taylor was an awesome individual too.
Really?
Yeah. He was still teaching when I was in high school. And Merlin Gish, who was the track coach.
Okay. Which is
Miss James.
Mrs. James. Yeah. Miss James. Yeah.
Yep.
The James family.
Those two.
Elizabeth.
When I was in high
Matthew Mark.
school, if you played a sport, they didn't care what sport you played.
Yeah.
If you played a sport and you were involved, they thought you were the best.
Really?
So, I mean, I remember sitting in classes and they'd ask me a question and I'd answer some silly question. They're like, "Oh, here, have a Snickers bar." And I'm like, "Well, thanks." Like, all right, this is great.
Dang, that's cool. Yeah. When did North? Do you know when Shawnee Mission North started their soccer program?
1979.
79.
79 was the first year they brought it in as an official sport.
Okay.
Beyond club. It had been club kind of sitting around for a couple of years. And then they brought it in. Ironically, they brought it in. Wichita put it in the spring. So we never got to play Wichita until my senior year of high school is when they brought it over to put it in the fall. Okay. Shawnee Mission and Olathe put it in the fall, thinking pretty well that it was going to die.
Really?
Yeah, if we put it against football, nobody will ever play soccer over football. And it just grew.
That's weird. They wanted it to die?
Yeah, they wanted it to die. Get rid of it.
Huh.
Yeah. The original thought. Oh my gosh.
That's weird.
So back in, what was it, 2000 and Jamie was born in 08. So 08, 09, 9, 10. For 2 years, I couldn't handle it more than 2 years. I wasn't very good anyway, by the way. I was the athletic director at Shawnee Mission East. And the whole thing was, oh God, there's a soccer game. Who wants soccer? Who's going to go supervise soccer tonight? I'm like, I got soccer. They're like, yeah, you do soccer. Nobody wanted to go to soccer. When I'd go to the district meetings, none of the athletic directors knew anything about soccer. So they were just like, why do we even have this sport around?
Really?
Because it's your second largest sport you have.
Yeah.
I mean, by numbers.
Yeah.
I'm like, and there's a lot of kids who play soccer and they're like, wasn't it supposed to die when we put it in the fall? There was like one old AD there.
20 years ago, it was supposed to die.
It was supposed to die, and it hasn't died. It's only gotten more popular.
Yeah, because I don't think soccer hit the KCK schools till 88, 89. That I believe. I mean, because I know my senior year soccer was because I.
You're right.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, 88 because I played my junior year.
You're right.
Yeah.
That'd be about right because.
And so, I mean, do you remember playing against like Bishop Ward?
Bishop Ward had club soccer.
They had. Oh, it was a club soccer.
No, until 88 when they made it. Now I'm out of high school.
Oh, okay.
They had their first official.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Varsity teams were, I want to say 88. I could be, but we didn't play them at that time.
Okay.
Because we were only.
I mean, I know. My 88 year, they had a good squad.
Oh,
Bishop Ward.
Yeah, they had great players.
Yeah, they did.
Some of those guys that came off
beat the hell out of us. They beat us like 14-0. It was like a football game.
Yeah, no, there was, yeah, because you had like, there was a lot of like Carlos Rodriguez's brothers.
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Mendez.
Alex Alex and those guys could absolutely tool people.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Well, Coach, I mean, I appreciate you coming in.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, but
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so, but yeah, we're ending the show now. But before we end it, I do something. I usually go with favorites or something. I'll ask my guests, but with you, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna either ask you this or that. So, starting with food, Italian or Mexican food?
You just picked my two favorites. How do you do that to me?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, literally. That's like,
but if you had
which child is better? How do you do that?
Okay, so if you're on an island and they say, okay, you can only have Italian or Mexican for the rest of your life, which one would you choose?
Oh, I'm gonna go Mexican.
Mexican food. You have a favorite dish?
Oh my gosh. Dang.
I know. That's kind of a hard one. If you love Mexican food, you probably love all of them.
Yeah, because and then it's where I'm getting it too.
Okay.
Right? It's like who's making the food for me.
True. Yeah.
So if I'm, and it was one of my students' grandmother she brought me the best chicken tamale I've ever had in my life.
Really? Oh, so that you can't.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you can't get better when it's straight out
and
somebody's
is
kitchen.
So good, right?
You like menudo?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, heck yeah.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people that are afraid to eat it because they look at it or they smell it or they just, I don't like the texture.
You just
That's
don't
good to
tell.
know.
You just can't tell them what's
kidding
in
me?
it.
Yeah.
It's good food.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's great hangover food.
Oh,
Yeah, it is. It is a great hangover.
And
Menudo, nice.
Oh yeah, and then of course, there's just too many. There's too many great. There was this little. Ever been to the Outfield Brewery in Bonner?
No, I haven't.
And so there was a lady there. She's not there anymore, and she was a little Hispanic lady. I don't know her name or anything like that, but she was trying to teach me how she made her brisket. But it was she had it. It was so good, and she was deep frying the tacos. She put this in there and deep fry it, and we'd eat it up. And I'm like, all right, I want to make that. And so she's like trying to teach me, and I'm like, all right, I'm not getting this in 5 minutes, because she was going through all these steps.
It's a process.
Okay, no, it's a love. It's not a process.
Okay,
it's
there you go.
It's a passion.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's awesome. So I've had all these different foods. I'm like, okay, I want a little bit of that, one a little bit of that. Oh yeah. So if I'm running for a fast taco, then I'm over at Don Antonio's.
Okay.
Yeah. I run over there. I'm like, okay, we're practicing over there across the street from Providence Medical Center, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, hold on.
I got time.
I've got an hour for my next practice.
Yeah. You ever hit those restaurants like on Central Avenue?
I've not been over Central Avenue. So
there's a lot of good restaurants there.
All right.
And then there's San Antonio's down there on Kansas Avenue in Armourdale.
Yeah.
San Antonio's, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Dave, one of the guys I teach with, Dave Reichert, and I are going to go down there.
Oh, yeah?
Because it's his favorite.
Yeah.
I go, well, I'm going to take you
That's
this
where
one. We're going to go this one. So, yeah.
Yeah, when your brother Mod, when he gets his friends together, they all go to San Antonio's to eat there.
Okay.
Tacos are good there. Yeah. It's nice. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs. You have dogs now?
Yeah.
How many?
We have, in this very moment that I actually own just 2.
Okay.
But in my house right now, I have 5.
Dang. This one for every family member almost.
Well, my daughter Anna has her own dog, and she's home from college. So I have a lab, Sophia, who's my oldest one. She's 12, and then somebody abandoned a baby, a puppy basset hound.
Oh.
And we tried to find the owner like forever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't chipped, wasn't neutered, anything of that nature. We took it to every pound. We put it up there. And after 10 days in Kansas, they're like, it's yours.
Really?
I'm like, oh, okay. So we so we did everything to her.
Yeah.
Pardon me. And so we have those 2 dogs. And my, like I said, Anna's dog. Then a neighbor of ours went to Hawaii. Anna's watching that dog, but she brings it to our house. And then our other friends, they took off back to their home state and left us their dog. So 5 dogs. 5 dogs.
Just left you their dog?
It's a Australian sheep herder, right?
Okay.
So we have that one. And then the other neighbors in Hawaii, they have he's a mix. You can see shepherd and something else, and he's white. this big white dog, and then we have the 2 labs and the basset hound. So right now I have 5 dogs.
Dang.
That's great. Chris, can you imagine 5 dogs in our house?
I'd move out immediately.
I want to. Does that count?
Wow, that's crazy. Are you a movies guru? You just love movies? Yeah. Theaters or at home? Which do you prefer to watch a movie?
Well, I prefer to watch it in theater.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cost of them now, I wait till it comes
watch it
home.
home.
Except for we did go see Maverick at the theater, right?
Have you seen it yet?
No, but
That's a great movie, right?
It's a fantastic movie.
It's a great movie. Yeah, and my buddy at work said it was shit. I almost threw a wrench at him. I was like, you serious? You just said that? I'm like, whatever. That's a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm trying to get these guys. Well, we need to watch it at home. I know
It's
the
out on
experience.
Paramount now.
Yeah, the experience in the theater to watch it is awesome. But I mean, it'll
if you need
probably
the
be,
hookup, the Cinemark over on in Merriam,
yeah, Mr.
Wheels of Steel man works there.
Oh,
Chris.
all right. You'll get to see me more often now.
Why'd you tell me where I work?
Do you prefer to host or attend parties or
Yes.
both?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I love to host.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, if you're having anything on Saturday morning, we're having a K-State watch party.
Are you really?
Yeah. Breakfast and the whole thing.
Nice.
Only rule is you have to wear purple because that's where my wife came from. So
That's cool.
Wear
yeah,
purple.
we would
Come
we,
on over.
We went to the
When they played in
the
Dallas.
championship game, the Big 12 championship game.
TCU.
We were there.
Yeah.
It was awesome. For one, it was awesome because we were there in Jerry's world. Which do you prefer to coach, boys or girls? Which is the
That's kind of funny. They're different.
yeah.
So with the girls, it's about team building and making everybody feel like they fit. With boys, it's strictly about winning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can see that.
And so, and discipline, like you're disciplining them differently. Like the best way to get to a boy, don't yell at them, just set them.
Yeah.
Then they get the message. Why am I sitting? Because you're not doing what I asked.
And if it was the girls, you had to do that too.
They'd cry.
Yeah.
They cry.
They
every time.
cried. And mom and dad's mad.
Oh
and-
yeah, everybody cries. And you're like, oh, okay. So you have to figure out who you're.
That's true. Yeah. Eliana would sometimes would come off the field crying. I'm like, okay, here we go. What happened? Yeah.
The last one.
And last one, winter or summer?
Oh,
Which do you
summer.
prefer?
Summer.
Summer all day long.
Oh yeah.
Can't play golf in the
There
cold.
we go. Oh, well, I can,
Well, you can, but it's
But-
not ideal.
but the snow gets in the way. So like tomorrow morning, we're playing.
Mr. Rickard, thank you for joining
Oh,
us.
thank you. I had a
appreciate
blast.
it.
This
I'm
was a lot
glad.
of fun.
I'm glad.
This is a
I
great
hope this was
show.
fun. Thank you.
This is
Thank you. It's
great.
fun. I love doing this, especially with my boys. Getting to do this, get to do this with these guys, and they make it fun.
I hope you make it big.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen this commercial?
What commercial are you in?
If you're watching the Chiefs game, you've probably seen it.
Coach, if you watch a Chiefs game, Marcos is on there. How many times do you think they showed during the Chiefs game?
At the most,
Maybe
like 4 or 5.
Hold on, but what happens at commercial breaks?
Right. You gotta go pee. You gotta go get a beer. You
There
gotta
we
go
go.
eat. You
There
gotta
we
go.
go.
That's true.
That's when it
So
plays.
what commercial is it? So I know.
It's Community America Banking.
Oh, isn't Don in that as well?
Who?
Don Rattan? Do you know Don?
Don?
She owns Village West Liquors.
I have no clue.
And she,
If I'll have to look up now and rewatch.
Everfit. So I think she's in there too.
Interesting.
Really?
I'll
Yeah,
have to look it
she's
up.
turning an iPad to somebody.
Well, he's holding the iPad.
I'm also holding that.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. We'll have to rewatch that.
I think I know who you're talking
do
about
they?
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. My part is literally right after hers.
Okay.
So rewatch it. Watch her.
I
Then
will.
you see me.
Okay.
That's funny.
Well, because she's so fit, right? I saw this lady and I'm like, I think that's Dawn. And so my wife, I'm like, is that Dawn? We're like, yeah, it's Dawn. So
Dang.
Funny.
You see Don, but you don't see Marcos.
I will now have to look.
Now you have to look, yep.
I have to look.
And he's done commercials for Dairy Queen and whatnot. But
Have you? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I've had quite 4 or 5 gigs this year.
Fantastic.
So planning to hopefully do a lot more in the next year.
Well, I can't wait for you to get to a show.
Thank you.
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. All right.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah. And thank you for being here.
You bet.
We're good.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to the Big Podcast. Until then, peace out.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. If you like this episode, please like, share, and subscribe.
What he said.